4th and goal to go to 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
All right. Hey, welcome to the Gridiron, baby. If you can give this video a thumbs up or maybe share this video, that would be absolutely freaking phenomenal. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you. If not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified, and it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you're subscribed, thank you. If you want to help support my channel, in the description box below, very top link, takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. Each one has their own little perks to them. So once again, if you want to help support my channel, it would mean so much to me. And once again, I thank you in advance. And then finally, just underneath that, there's another link. It takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants to Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We have over 9,800 members in the group, and it's doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I got internet access, I am putting stuff in this group darn near 365. It's called the New York Giants to Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You will not be dissatisfied. I promise. Well, we're getting there. We're getting there next Tuesday. So, well, what we got about? Here in South Jersey, we got about 36 minutes, right, till Friday. So we got Friday, we got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right? We got 5 days until the rookies had to show up for training camp, right? And then the following Tuesday, that's when everybody's in. So we got pretty much 5 days, and stuff is off and running. You know, it's in the next following Tuesday that everybody else shows up, and then boom, another season of football is upon us. What's going to happen? Who knows, right? Who knows? But I don't know. I just that's pretty much my lifeblood. I'm just haven't seen the Knicks win the championship since '73, so that's about 50 years. Haven't seen the Mets win the World Series since '86. That's about 40 years. That's about 90 years between the two. Haven't seen the Rangers win the Stanley Cup in 30 years. That's 120 years. Haven't seen Notre Dame's that's my team. Haven't seen them win a national. I've seen them win 3 national championships from 73 to 88. So in 15 years, I've seen them win 3. I was alive in 66 when they tied for the national championship, but I was only 2 years old at the time. But I did actually see them win 3 in 15 years. But it's been almost 40 years since they've won. So between the Rangers, the Mets, the Knicks, and Notre Dame, it's 160 years. Okay, that I'm just waiting around, growing older, waiting for some type of a miracle to happen. Okay, which I don't know if it's ever going to happen ever again. So, pretty much, I do watch Notre Dame now. Okay, but the Mets, the Knicks, and the I mean, if they're good, okay, great. But I'm growing old with a cane, and getting ready to get in a wheelchair and all that, watching and waiting for those guys to win another. So football is my lifeline, right? So once we got football going on, it's right. Let's get some excitement going on. And usually, even the Giants think usually Notre Dame's pretty good. I mean, of course, they don't win any national championships, but usually they're pretty good. So usually I got something to get excited about anyway. But regardless, I mean, this time is everybody's 0-0. You know what? I tell you what, the offensive line holds up, and Malik Neighbors got like 180 passes, and I'll tell you, defense comes on, and we can do some damage. So everybody's got some of those thoughts going on, But it's just nice to have another season of football, just this far, this close, right? Isn't it nice, huh? But one of the things I saw, right, is obviously the Giants can't go big time as far as spending, right? with the free agency moves. But there's an article here. The problem is, I don't know, a couple of these guys, as we see Will Hernandez here, right? A couple of these guys are guards, and we have like 37,000 guards. But we got a lot of guys on the offensive line. Obviously, not everybody's making the team. Not everybody's making the the practice squad and all that stuff. So some guys are going to go bye-bye, right? But it shows in this article, some guys, right? Once again, I don't even know how many big-time free agent guys are still out there. Especially big dollar wise, right? But I mean, the Giants don't have a lot of money. I mean, they could certainly free up some money to get some money, but I'm not really sure. If they're going to be bringing anybody else in. We got a young team, got a lot of young guys. We brought in some guys. We drafted some guys. We got a lot of young guys, and if you believe in what you're doing, if Shane believes in what he's doing, right, and if we, if Dart can, be a good quarterback, I like the young team approach. You're gonna go through some bumps and valleys, and you're gonna get some good, you're gonna get some bad, but you have a young team together. It's exciting. It's very, very exciting. Of course, a lot of it also has to depend upon, if do we have our quarterback of the future, right? But in this one article here, they got a few guys here they're talking about. One of them, of course, is JPP. It was kind of like the same thing like with OBJ and JPP, right? I mean, you can get guys if you get them on the team. I mean, that would certainly create some excitement and all of that. Maybe put few more butts in the stand, especially OBJ. If we had him on, I got him back here. Of course, he's kind of a shell of his former self with all the injuries he's had, and got drafted in 2014, so he's not a spring chicken anymore. He's not going to take a slant pattern and just blow past the whole thing. That's not happening anymore. You know what I mean? But I mean, it would certainly create some excitement. At JPP, obviously, would create some excitement as well too. But is he better than what we have? I don't really know. Especially with JPP. But in this article here, this is from Big Blue View. The Giants' first round pick in the 2010 NFL Draft is 36 and did not play last year, but still wants to play and believes he would be dope to finish his career with the Giants. No, I mean, obviously for me, if he wanted to come in and sign a one-day contract to retire as a Giant, absolutely, man. Bring him in. Absolutely. Same thing with OBJ. I'd be on the phone with them. Right, I understand, blah, 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 all that stuff and everything, but right now we're just not looking for you. We got some young guys we brought in, so we're just not, whatever the situation, whatever he wants, however nice you got to, things you got to say, right? But, if you ever want to come and sign a one-day contract to retire as a Giant, you give me a call, and we'll have it here the next day for you. We'll fly you in and everything, right? We'll hold hands. We'll dance the Macarena and everything. OBJ or JPP. If you want, are you going to retire? If you want to retire a Giant, you let us know, and we'll have the paperwork all signed up for you. You come in, we'll fly you in the next day. You sign it, you retire a Giant, right? But he not only didn't play last season, but the year before, I think he played just 3 games. Hasn't had a sack, I think, since like 2022 or something along those lines. And actually in 2023, when he did play in 3 games, I think it was Miami, New Orleans or something like that. I mean, if you can't hang on for more than 3 games with like 2 different teams, I mean, it's like, and this is 2 years later. I mean, sometimes, sometimes it's just, I mean, like, things just sometimes you just get too old. Even Lyle Alzado, he retired. He tried to come back a couple of years after he retired, and wasn't the same. He's old, I mean, not old. He's in his 30s, but I'm old. Right? To me, 36 ain't old. 36, man. If I was 36, woo, boy, I would love it. But but in football age, 36, she's old. I mean, I said if he wasn't able to play last season, I mean, what makes you think he's going to come in and outperform what the Giants kind of have right now? Right. JPP is, of course, a unique individual. The fact that he can compile 52.5 of his 94.5 career sacks after losing 2.5 fingers in the July 4th, 2015 fireworks accident is evidence of that. So that was 10 years ago. He has only 5.5 sacks since 2021. And he did not have any in 6 games for New Orleans Saints and the Dolphins. So it was 6 games. I thought it was just 3. Okay. So he played in 2023. He played for 6 games, grand total for the Saints and the Dolphins. Giants with Burns, Carter, Kayvon, Chauncey Golston. Right? As championship Giants teams of the past have proven, though, a team can never have enough pass rushers. Would there be room on the roster for JPP? Would it be worth bringing him in for training camp on a non-guaranteed contract to see if he has anything left? Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, if you brought him in, right, as part of the 90, you get some excitement, that's for sure. You get a bunch of people showing up to training camp, and I mean, the fans and all that, with some excitement and everything like that. Absolutely, sure. Then they go back to Gabe Davis. Now, this one's kind of interesting, right, because he was here. Couldn't get anything done. Now, whatever, I don't know what the reason is, and a lot of times you're never going to find out what the reason was, right? Was it money? What was it? Don't know, right? So, but they had him here. The former Bill and Jacksonville Jaguar wide receiver visited Giants mid-May, right? So we're talking about 2 months ago. Since that time, Davis has visited the Steelers and the Saints, but remains unsigned. Now, what is the problem? Don't know. 6'2", 225 pounds. So he's a nice size. He's not 6'5", he's not 5'10". He's in the middle, but 225. That's a solid dude right there. Davis is, of course, already well known to the Giants general manager Joe Shane and Coach Dable. Shane was the assistant GM in Buffalo when Davis was drafted, and Dable was the offensive coordinator when Davis caught 70 passes for 13 touchdowns in his first 2 seasons. Davis coming off a disappointing season in Jacksonville where he caught just 20 passes in 9 games before landing on the IR with a torn meniscus. The Jaguars, with a new GM and head coach, released Davis after just 1 season of a 3-year, $39 million contract. Wow. Torn meniscus is perhaps the reason Davis is yet to sign. Teams could be waiting to sign him until Davis passes a physical and is cleared to practice. So, there you go. Could the Giants still bring Davis to New York? They want to be a more vertical offense, and Russell Wilson, Jameson Winston, and Jackson Dart, they have quarterbacks suited to that downfield style. Now, once again, he's just a baby. 26, right? As a career average, 16.2 yards per reception. So you're not getting somebody who's going to put up 80 receptions a season. That ain't happening. But 16.2 yards a reception, that'll get your eyes open, right? More than any other Giant receiver at 16.2 yards, even more than Darius Slayton. With 5 undrafted free agent, we got a lot of undrafted free agent rookies. Oh yeah, we have 5 on the free agent rookie receivers on a 90-man roster. The Giants seem interested in creating competition for wide receiver roster spots. If healthy, Davis' resume indicates he would not only be a favorite for a roster spot should the Giants sign him, but could push third-year wide receiver, yes, Jalen Hyatt, for a role as the Giants' 4th receiver. Absolutely. Absolutely. So maybe, if he, I guess maybe he hasn't passed the physical. Maybe, if he passes a physical, maybe, the Giants maybe did, hey, give us a call. Right? Because that's another one of those things. It's like, right? Got Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton, Wandell Robinson, probably Jalen Hyatt. So that's your Fab Four. Who's going to be? Is it Amir Smith-Marset with his return capabilities? Because you got to have. You just can't have 6 or 7. No, we're just wide receivers. We don't do nothing. No. Once you get after the Fab Four or whatever like that, you guys got to start being contributors on other things. You're just not going to have a guy standing on the sideline being the 7th string wide receiver drinking Kool-Aid all day and just not, that's all. I don't do nothing else. I just stand here and wait for 6 guys in front of me to get injured, and then I go and play. No, that's not happening. So Amir Smith-Marset is, very eye appealing, shall we say, right? Because he does both. Bryce Ford Wheaton, right, special teamer, has not really been able to scratch out or get much a role or a role period as far as a wide receiver, but he plays special teams. So that we're going to remain to see. Do they keep 6 wide receivers? Do they keep 7? So we do have the Fab, quite bottom, the Fab Four, right? So is it going to be Amir Smith-Marset and 1 or 2 other guys? Who are those guys going to be? I mean, once again, especially these undrafted free. Unless one of them goes out there and just starts running around like, OBJ, just jumping up and catching everything with 2 fingers, chances are they better start excelling on the special teams and wide receiver. But the thing was, in minicamp and OT, all that stuff where you can't touch anybody, you can't look at nobody, you can't breathe in their direction, you can't do nothing, there's no special teams, right? There's no gunners running down the field and, tackling guys or, the gunners and the guys trying to hold up, jam the gunners, none of that going on, right? So now once training camp, this is where the rubber starts hitting the road, right? This is where we're going to start finding out about some of these possibly these undrafted rookie free agent wide receivers that the Giants have. Can any of them produce enough on the 2nd and 3rd string wide receivers? But can any of them, pop open a few eyeballs when it comes to special? Dude, this guy runs down the field. Damn, he's making tackles. Or this guy seems like a pretty good punt returner. Or this guy, so this is where the special team starts coming in at, right? But because you couldn't tell any of that, with OTAs and minicamp and everything. So, but, Davis would not be expensive. He's coming off of an injury. So, who knows? Brandon Sheriff. Now, of course, this name keeps popping around. So he's 33 years old, though. So, quite possibly, as I said, here his last Pro Bowl was 2021. He is still, though, one of the best pass blocking guards in the NFL. For Pro Football Focus, Sheriff's 98.6 pass blocking efficiency rating was 2nd among 56 qualifying guards last season. Wonder why he's still not signed. In 625 pass blocking snaps, he did not allow a sack. Whoa. As a run blocker, Sheriff ranked just 40th among 49. So his run blocking was a little, maybe that's the reason why he hasn't been signed. But pass blocking, phenomenal. Sheriff has always been and still is a better player than the 35-year-old Greg Van Roten of the Giants, unless the Giants are trying to clear a lane for Evan Neal. Now, so we got a bunch of guys, right, who are, trying to battle it out for that right guard position. So we'll have to wait and see. Who even freaking knows? Who knows? Marcus Bowe might be one of them, too. Who knows, right? So we'll have to wait and see. But all right, then they talk, guard, right guard. They talk Brandon Sheriff, right? Then now they're talking guard, Will Hernandez, right? Giants 2018 second-round pick. Basically, he was darn near almost a freaking first-round pick. He was picked 34, right? Because we picked 2nd, right? Saquon was 2nd, so so we picked that 33. We picked 34. So 30. He was a darn near almost a first rounder too. So he got picked early. So you're always kind of hoping and envisioning, we got Will Hernandez, our guard. He'll be opening up holes for Saquon for years to come, and of course that never happened. But let's see. After leaving the Giants, he left the Giants for free agency for the Cardinals. Then he was in his 4 seasons. Hernandez, who turns 30 in September, played just 5 games last season after suffering a torn ACL. That is perhaps why he still remains unsigned. Drafted as a left guard, Hernandez has played right guard since 2021. Like Sheriff, if he is healthy, Hernandez would appear to provide an upgrade for the Giants. Of course, he is 3 years younger than Sheriff and would theoretically have a longer runway as a productive player. Signing Hernandez might make more sense than signing Sheriff. Again, the team believe in Evan Neal as a guard and perhaps in rookie 5th-round pick Marcus Bowe would be factors in why the Giants might not sign Hernandez or Sheriff. Then he finally have here safety Kevon Wallace. Third safety Dane Belton has been had a productive spring, but he's not been able to lock down a full-time role in the secondary over his first 3 NFL seasons. Well, he's been a backup. And if Kevon Wallace came in, he would be a backup. Giants could use depth at safety. Yes, they could. That they could. If they could, hey, and if they got somebody a solid, another safety, another solid, I mean, that would really be good. But you don't know. I mean, some of these guys don't want to come in and be, sometimes beggars can't be choosy. It's like, well, the only team that wants me is the Giants. I'm going to be a backup. I don't want that, but if I want to play football this year, if I want to make some money this year, I guess I got to sign with. But some guys just want to, they want to be a starter. They think they should be a starter, or whatever. And if they came here, they're not going to be a starter. Let's see. Giants could use depth at safety behind Holland and Newman. There aren't any there aren't any proven players they talk about. Well, I mean, to me, Belton is maybe not so much proven, but the guy has some problems, okay? But the guy's also a ball hawk too. He's around the football. He makes things happen. In a short amount of time he's played, he's had about a short amount of snaps and everything he's played. He has like 9 or 10 turnovers between recovered fumbles and interceptions. Anthony Johnson, a 2023 7th-round pick by the Packers, missed the entire spring with an apparent shoulder injury. He played just 21 defensive snaps for the Giants last season anyway. Raheem Lane is a former undrafted free agent who's played just 13 games in 3 seasons with the Chargers and the Giants. During that time, Lane has suffered a pair of significant knee injuries, a torn ACL and a torn meniscus. He finished last season on the IR. Makari Page is an undrafted free agent rookie out of Michigan. Giants had Wallace in for a 2-day tryout during mandatory minicamp. Wallace was a 4th-round pick by the Eagles in 2020. The 27-year-old has played 71 regular season games with 19 starts for the Eagles, Cardinals, Titans, and Seahawks. So, one thing is for sure, right? Absolutely for sure, is that, the 90 guys we got on the roster now ain't going to be the 90 guys in a month or so from now. It's like the stock market. It goes, meaning it changes. It just constantly changes. So got hurt. So-and-so's got knocked out. We let this guy go. We brought this guy in. Let that guy go. Brought this guy back. It's you really, you need a pen and paper just to keep up with all the transactions. I mean, it's crazy. So could something happen? Absolutely, sure. Especially, things happen. I hate bringing up the I word, injuries, but it's the New York Football Giants, and of course, we know we know injuries and the New York Giants go hand in hand. Can't have a season without a ton of injuries for the Giants, right? So, hey, if, I don't want to, but if something were to happen to any of our, our safeties, anything, somebody, comes up lane, pulls a hamstring or something like that, right? We might pick the phone up and start calling some of these guys. Who knows? But as far as the offensive linemen, we got a ton of offensive linemen. I really think they want to see what Bo can do and what Neal can do. especially like after the, because after the season, we want to maybe start trying to make some type of decision, right? Are we going to keep Neal? Right? If we keep him, is he going to be guard? Can Bo play a tackle? Right? After the season's over, if Shane's still around, they got to sit back, roll up a fatty, light that mofo up, and say, what do we need for the offensive line? As we got all kinds of stuff, right? We got, I think we got John Runyon, I think for 4 years, so I think we got him for 3 more. But Andrew Thomas, can that guy stay healthy? Is he going to be able to play more than 5, 6, 7 games with us this year? Or is every year something else going to happen? If something happens every year, we might have to draft a left tackle. We got John Runyon Jr. I mean, of course, he comes to the Giants, and this is the first time I think he's ever in his pro career, I think, been injured. Wasn't injured when he was with the Packers. He played 35 trillion snaps at the Packers. Never even got jock itch. Comes to the Giants, he gets injured. Had a separated shoulder. I think he played a lot with separated shoulder or something. I mean, so tough dude. But and then John Michael Schmitz. This is his 3rd season. You draft a center in the 2nd round. You really like to see some. He's got it up here. He's tough. He's all this stuff and everything. But he's been a little bit of a disappointment. Can he take another step forward this year? Right. And once again, do we have our right guard of the future? Is it going to be Evan Neal? Right. Who's our tackle going to be? Because this is our last season for Luminor. We can certainly bring him back, but do we want to keep bringing back a guy who's in his 30s to play our right tackle, or do we want to draft somebody? So there's a lot of things to look at after this season's over with the offensive line.